Hey friends, this is Josh Hayward and welcome to another edition of the Find Your Craft Show. We are continuing our mini-series on brews from Two Tides out of Savannah, Georgia. Last night we took a look at the Currents IPA, and today I've got a very special one for you. This is the Chromatose Blackberry Sour Ale. This is a Blackberry Sour Ale brewed with lactose. This one comes in at 5.2% ABV. Again, a few notes about Two Tides. They're a relatively new brewery there in Savannah. They're doing some phenomenal things. I was able to stop in a few days ago, actually a couple weeks ago now, and they were actually about to celebrate their 1-year anniversary. Had a flight in the tap room, and I absolutely loved what they were doing. Loved it so much I came back later that night to try some other beers as well. But yeah, they're doing some phenomenal things, and Currents was a great beer, and we got the Chromatose now. It's a Blackberry Sour brewed with lactose. I actually did have this one, part of a flight in the tap room, and looking forward to trying it again. It's been a couple weeks now, so look at that, guys. It's not often we have ruby red beers. I think had it was from Green Man Brewery out of Asheville, North Carolina, actually does a sour ale that was very similar in color to this one. So I'm going to get a little flashbacks from that. But as you can see, just a deep ruby red color there. Being that this is a blackberry sour, I'm attributing that to some of the blackberry juice that's in this brew. But yeah, very red beer. Red all day long. I mean, it's completely opaque. Maybe towards the top of the glass where there's a little bit less liquid, you can see some light through, but for the most part, you can't see through this beer at all. As I poured it, it had a little bit of a head on it. See if I can get it going again. Kind of a white head, not even white, I'd say pinkish for sure. Just trying to get it going there on the glass. But yeah, let's see what we've got as far as the aromas go. As I move the glass towards me, I could kind of pick up on some of them. Oh, wow. I will say that, of course, I'm getting some blackberry. Think like blackberries, if you took a blackberry and you crushed it up, some of that aroma that comes from the crushed blackberry and the juice. I feel like I'm getting something that's going to indicate sour. Kind of getting some. Can you get aromas of lactic acid? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Maybe that's your palate kind of discerning some of the aromas there. But I feel like it's going to be something sour. And then they say they use lactose in this, and maybe it's my brain playing tricks on me, but I'm getting a little bit of a sweetness in this beer. The sweetness is different from a malty sweetness, and I would attribute it to that lactose. Lactose being the sugar that's found in milk. Yeah, a little bit of sweetness there. So, yeah, beautiful beer. Just a beautiful beer. Really enjoying sours, too. Lots of breweries are doing some great things with them. Really kind of pushing the envelope, putting their own spin on them, creating new and amazing things. So, without further ado, let's see what we've got. Cheers. One day I'll learn, guys. Doing these brew reviews, I usually have about the same size of a sip. I have to keep reminding myself, and I failed again this time, to take a smaller sip when I drink a sour beer. I take a full sip like I do when I try any other beer, and it's almost overpowering. Let's try that again. When tasting beer, you can always kind of do a little bit better as far as discerning flavors and flavor profiles with a smaller sip. That's very true with the sour beer, I find. Just able to really experience all the things going on there. So for this beer, it's very good. Very good beer. You definitely taste the blackberries in it. Blackberries there all day. I'm getting a nice breadiness post-taste as I'm talking to you guys, as I'm breathing out of my nose and mouth as I talk, the air kind of going through the passageways and all. I'm getting a breadiness there, which is rather interesting. As far as like first sip, I don't get a whole lot of breadiness. Just really get the blackberry flavor and that lactic acid from the sourness. kind of coating the palate. And then there's a nice bitterness in here. I'm very surprised at that. A nice bitterness. Some of these sour beers, it's just all sour. That's what you get, just all lactic acid, all sour. Some of these things nowadays will take the enamel off your teeth. They're so sour. But this is pretty approachable. Nice fruity flavor in here. Nice fruity profile. Not overly sour, I'll say. And I think with the addition of the lactose, I think that adds so much to the beer. Lactose, you see it used in some of these milkshake IPAs and milkshake beers, but in this sour beer, it's kind of softening all of the flavors going on here. I think it really softens the lactic acid in the beer, really softens the sourness, really softens some of that blackberry flavor as well. Kind of wraps it all up, presents the beer in a more digestible, more able to perceive kind of way. But well done on that. Definitely makes the sour type beer more approachable with the addition of the lactose, I feel. If you're a sour fan, you want just straight sour, straight lactic acid all day long. But if you're just coming into sour beers and kind of trying different things, this is a great one. Well done to Two Tides on this one. I feel like that lactose just adds a very, very interesting element to a sour beer. I've never had a sour beer with lactose. Now I have, and this is pretty good. Again, just nice fruity flavors, fruity aromas in there. Nice sourness, but not peel the enamel off your teeth sourness. Nice sweetness from that lactose too. And then again, a little bit of breadiness as I continue to talk. But very solid beer here. Really enjoyed this one. If you're a wine drinker, and I know we got some wine drinkers too that are kind of just starting to branch out into craft beer, reach for some of these sour beers. You'd be very surprised at the complexity of some of these beers. The flavor profiles are very amazing. So cheers to Two Tides on this one. Very good beer. The Chromatose Blackberry Sour with lactose. Thank you so much for following along. If you like what you saw, if you love craft beer, press that little subscribe button down there. I'd love to have you as part of this amazing community. You guys have a great day, and cheers.